Alright guys, today we are moving the H2D's from the basement of my house to the warehouse. I've had two H2D's in the basement of my house for a good, I don't know, was it 3-4 months now, on this table that rises up and down. What I'm going to do with this table now that I'm moving the printers out is probably use this for Legos. But I did move one already. I am completely out of breath up the steps. Moving these up the steps is a pain in the butt, but we got it done. We disassembled the two AMSs, so a little bit less weight. This one's going to go probably later today or tomorrow. I can only carry one at a time in my car. This is a little filament rack that I'm going to move as well. And then, like I said, I'm going to leave this table to do some Legos in my spare time. This is where I'm going to do the Legos. And then this area, I'll do another video on what this is down the line. But this is my wife, her new little obsession. But yeah, I also wanted to know, I do have both of these running on a single 20 amp breaker in my house. I start both of these printers up at the same time, and it doesn't trip the breaker. I thought that they draw 1600 watts during power up, and I would assume that if I started both at the same time, it would have tripped the breaker, but it did not. So that's rather interesting. But yeah, so yeah, we're in the process. We're just gonna bring this one up, this last AMS up the steps to the garage. All right, this is what it is looking like. Two AMSs. I have the AMS top stand right there, and this is one of the H2D's. I could probably fit two, but I'm just gonna do one at a time, just to be safe. But yeah, it's crazy how big this thing is. Also, Tesla Model X is not very practical because the two front seats don't, in the 6-seat configuration, they don't fold down, so you lose a ton of storage space in the back. If those seats could fold down, I could probably fit both, no problem, but I cannot. Okay, we have our H2D, excuse me, we have our H2D right here. Where's it at? Where's it at? Right there. Brought it out. We're gonna find a spot for these, just the one for this morning. I think we're gonna put it right here. We're probably gonna disassemble this bay right here and put them right here in this front rack, closest to the bay door since they're enclosed. We have 4 printers here that we're gonna move around. We're going to do the same setup that we have here. That way we can put P2S's on the bottom if we need to, or top-mounted A1s on the bottom. But yeah. And that's that. We're also going to be making some green PLA, I think, is what Evan wants me to make, because we're out of or running low on green. Let me see. Yeah, this is our stockpile of green currently. As you can see, we have no rolls left. Evan, is this all the black we have also? Where at? Oh, it's not that much. Okay. Should I do one black, one green? No, I don't want to do both. I could. Do you need black? No, I don't. I want to do one color that way. Green? This is my entire stockpile of white that we've been making over the past day or so. White PLA. So I do have this cement mixer that I bought for pretty cheap a couple months ago. The thing with this is the colorant tends to get stuck in these. There's like a rubber sealant here, inside of there, right here, where, look at all that colorant that's been here for the last time I did black. So it's kind of really a pain in the butt to change out, to switch colorant because of that issue. I could go in and after every time I run a specific color, do a deep clean of it, but I'm just too lazy for that. So I just use this cement mixer for black and black only. So whenever I do a batch of black, I'll use this to mix it. Otherwise, we'll just mix it in a mixing bowl and then pour it into the hopper. Again, because this is being used for personal use, I don't really care too much about super consistent color. I mean, ideally we would like to have, pretty consistent color, but it's not the end of the world if some of the colors come out a little bit different. So, and I guess I'm assuming that sometimes what happens when you get rolls from other manufacturers, maybe there's like one pellet of a different colorant mixed into the batch that they're doing. Although that's very rare because they run larger screws and stuff where the color mixing and that stuff doesn't really affect too much. If I get one pellet of a different colorant in the small screw, you're probably going to notice it a lot more than the other bigger plastic manufacturers. So we're going to do a batch of green today. Let me see if I can find the green colorant. And by the way, colorant is a pain in the butt to source and to find because not all colorant works with, oh my God, that's all I have. That can't be right. Not all colorant works with whatever whatever version PLA you're working with. Some of these work. I have a whole batch of colorant that I bought from another company that doesn't work with the 404-3D resin. So just a PSA for those people. Oh shoot, this is the last green. This can't be the last green I have. I found the mother lode of colorant. The green in these tubes work. I've tested this previously. I know it works, so we're gonna use this to make some green. This is some other colorant that I got from other suppliers that some of them don't work. This black, I could not get to mix well with the 404-3D resin. This green that I bought from a specific supplier does. And so yeah, we're gonna do this. And so let me know what you guys think. I'm thinking about putting together a course for this extrusion line setup that I have. A very detailed, in-depth, just like, a course of findings that I've done over the past, 6 months of using these machines. I probably spent close to 1,000 hours playing around with these machines and disassembling it, understanding plastic extrusion, and I'm still like at the very low echelon of the understanding of plastic extrusion. So I'm definitely not an expert by any means, but I'm safe to say that I know how to use these machines. I know how to clean them, take them out, take them apart. And it's crazy that there's literally no literature on any of this stuff that you can find on the internet. If you're lucky, if you buy this machine from a supplier overseas in China and you have issues, they will probably help you, walk you through it. But they're not gonna baby you and hold your hand and do this and that for you. Especially since there's so many different applications of this screw. It's not just making PLA, right? I haven't even done PEG or ABS. I'm assuming it's the same process. You probably just need to get different pellets, tune your temperatures, and then get different colorant for ABS, PEG, whatever you want to do. Down the line, what I'm going to do is I'm working with my supplier right now to get glitter. We're going to start with glitter first, and then we're going to do silk after that. So there's like a silk modifier that you can do for solid color PLA, and there's also glitter powder that you can do that will get your plastic to have this glitter effect like that. So again, it'll all be single color stuff for now, which I'm just going to test down the line, but that's going to be a project in the future. We're also going to be working with recycled stuff in the future as well. So yeah, let me know if you guys would be interested in something like that, a course on that. Either I do a course, I sell the course individually, or I can make a longer format course guide on my Skool community, and then you can just join that and get access to that. But looking back, this entire setup cost me, if I were to do this entire setup now, it would probably only cost close to $3,000. The extruder I got for about $2,000. DIY water bath is about under, we'll just round it up to $100. This thing itself costs about $50, and then you have the pump, the heater, the tank, all that stuff. I'm just gonna round everything up to $100, so that's $2,100. The puller, this obviously is something that I bought from a manufacturer, but you don't need to get this puller because you can have your own DIY puller that Evan made for us. I don't know where you put it. I'm going to be doing a video on that in a little bit, showing off the puller that he made for me. We're going to set up this new line here. I'm going to do a whole nother video on that because I was waiting for the water bath to be done, these two water baths to be sealed. Anyways, the puller that he made for me is about $200. $200 for the puller. This spooling system only costs about $150. You can honestly make this cheaper if you just buy the parts, 3D print everything. I bought this assembled, but you can DIY this. We've had issues where this thing snapped off. We just reprinted a new one. And so you're not relying on, you know, other manufacturers and heavy machinery when or if it does break. So this entire setup, 2,000, 121, 223, another 150. So we're gonna round everything up to about $2,500 in terms of what this entire setup cost me, and I can duplicate this 4 times. And again, as I mentioned in my previous video, these machines came to me damaged, so I got them for free. I had to fix them up, unfortunately, but now that they're fixed up, I can basically copy everything over to fit my needs. Now, there's 2 ways to, you know, a lot of people say, okay, what about the extra, you know, labor? And I'm not even going to talk about electrical costs. I'll do a whole nother video on what I pay for electricity in this space, and then you can come to a conclusion about the electrical costs. It's actually not that expensive to run these 2. I can't really, I could probably calculate how much these draw in terms of power and electrical costs, but honestly, it's probably under $3 a day, something like that. It's not too expensive. But the 2 ways to really reduce the amount of labor is, number 1, I've already done this, is get a bigger hopper. So obviously what this does is this reduces, I got the hopper there, this reduces the amount of time needed to come and refill the hopper with pellets. So that eliminates that. 1 entire tank, I think, is about 10 kilograms of plastic. So we have to refill this about 1.5 times per day in terms of our current production. The other way is to reduce the labor needed to spool. So right now we do 1 kilogram spools, right? We use these Sunlu master spools, but each spool, 1 kilogram takes about 40 minutes, 35 to 40 minutes. Sometimes Evan lets it run a little bit longer, so you'll see that some of these rolls are much fatter, which is fine, right? We can still use it. It's not like it needs to be exactly 1 kilogram because we're using it for personal use and we're not selling it. So anywhere between 30 to 45 minutes, Evan has to come and basically swap out these spools, which honestly takes about 1 minute in total. But a way to reduce that amount of labor is to just get bigger spoolers, right? We could spool onto a 5 kilogram roll or a 10 kilogram roll, and then that way basically this machine can run on its own for the entire day without zero man interference, and that reduces your labor cost significantly if you have to pay for labor costs. But for what I'm doing, since I already have labor here that's already doing stuff with the print farm, I'm not hiring somebody else extra to do this, so it I don't really factor that too much into my costs currently. Now, when I get 4 lines set up, I think we might need to look at something because it's going to be, you know, a little bit more demanding of Evan's time. Anyway, yeah, let me know. I really want to, you know, looking back, like I said, I probably spent about 1,000 hours playing with these machines. If I could go back in time and pay somebody money who has used this machine before, that knows how to use it, that knows how to do maintenance on it, that knows how to take it apart, clean the screw, that knows what type of colorant to buy, what type of purging material you need to buy to clean the screw, I would have paid thousands of dollars to reduce the amount of time that I've spent learning this machine. And so, looking back, I wish that was something available, available to me. Unfortunately, it was not. Again, let me know what you guys think about that course, a paid course, or just access to it on my Skool community. But yeah, we're gonna make some green colorant, and then we're gonna set up the H2D racks today, and then we got a lot of orders to help pack. All right, we got some green going. There's the green. Spooler 1, spooler 2. I was gonna set up the third extrusion line today, but Evan brought the puller home, so I cannot. So instead, we're gonna test this water bath and see if there's any leakage in here first before we do anything. So let me set up the H2D's first and then get back to this. Okay, we are done with the H2D setup. One of them is here. The shelf is kind of high. Probably could have moved it lower, but down the line we can top mount some A1s down here. So that's why I kept the spacing the way it is. But the other H2D will go right on top. We'll probably move one of the UPSs down to the bottom row, and then that way we'll have one for the top row and then one for the bottom row. That way we don't have to utilize like these 6-foot power cords going all the way up to the UPS units. But yeah, I'm hoping I can run all of these printers on a 20 amp. Might not be feasible, but we'll see. First error already is that broken PTFE tube. That's not really an error, but I've been utilizing this at home, and I've just been putting tape on that bad boy. Obviously now it's kind of worn, so I'll have to just replace this since I have a whole batch of these PTFE tubes over here. Right here in this bin. By the way, Walmart is doing a sale on these 77-inch wide muscle racks. I believe it's $190 for these, and they deliver them, so I bought 6 of them. With the 6, I can make 12 bays, and basically we're just going to replicate these racks side by side. So 1 row and then 2 more. So 3 rows of 4 bays, so that's 12. And we'll be able to store some product on there, clean up the space in the front, and eventually down the line, once all this stuff gets cleared out, we'll be able to put more printers on them. That is the goal. Why are these guys not printing? Oh, no, they are. Yep. All right. Also, I sold my last 2 A1s. Someone's picking it up one tonight. Someone is picking one up this afternoon. That's my last A1 right there. I actually didn't realize that these were sold out on Bambu Lab's website, so people were asking me to buy them. Like, I got like 20 messages yesterday, so I'm selling them for $360, so a little bit under retail, and you save on taxes. So it is what it is. I don't want to set them up and we would use them, but I want to eventually switch over to the P2Ss. I think it's just a better investment overall. Out of the 18 P2S machines that we have currently, I actually want to go buy more, but they're also back ordered till later this month, which is unfortunate. But I think they've been working very well. Like, there's no issues on these so far, even for like longer a day and a half prints, like these gingerbread dragons that we've been selling nonstop. Yeah, no issues. We're gonna aggressively sell off the P1Ps, I think, next year, probably for like maybe $150 to $200, maybe even less than that, just to move them and reinvest into the P2S. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's going to do it for this video. Next week we'll set up the next extrusion line. Once I get the puller in and I make sure the water bath works. Maybe I'll do a full video on how I set up the water bath as well, because we're going to set one up from scratch pretty much. But yeah, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.